Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night. That means it's time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Vegas Jay, and with me tonight is my frequent co-host, the sparkly unicorn herself, Robin Haas. How are you, Robin?
Hello, everybody.
What is going on? I'm actually going to turn you up a smidge. Oddly enough, you're kind of quiet tonight, so let's turn you up a little bit. I know it's a rarity.
It's true. It's true.
And with us tonight is our guest, Patty Coffman. But let's get right into our first segment, and then we will, as always, I will tie it all together. It's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week I have a different rum out of a different tiki mug, and I try and pair it up with my guest. So, Patty, I have one question for you right now. What state do you live in?
Oregon.
All right. Well, tonight I got a twofer. I have Oregon rum. Below Deck,
cool.
which I've used quite often because we've had a lot of Oregon. Yeah, so Oregon rum made in Portland and a tiki mug from Oregon. Bam.
Nice.
Oh, I love him. What's his name?
He's the tiki from Holly Paley, which is in Portland. So I have, for our guest, I have a spiced rum out of Oregon and a tiki mug out of Oregon.
Oh, that sounds good.
So Patty's got an incredible story to share with us. Oh, I always give you a little bit of tip on the tiki mugs. Now, this is their main tiki. This is the logo for the bar. This is the third or fourth version of it, different colors. So anytime there's a bar that retires their colors, even though they sold a bunch, when someone gets into collecting mugs or mugs from that bar and they want color number 1 through 3, they're not available anymore. So if you happen to find some or you sit on some, wait till it's out of print and then sell it for more money. So there you go. There's your little eBay tip.
Oh, good tip. Good tip.
All right, Patty, enjoy the show. Sit back, relax. I'm going to turn your camera off. Just make sure your pants are on in about half an hour.
Okay.
Hey, what are you drinking this evening?
You always give me with that, Jay.
What are you drinking this evening?
Oh, what am I drinking? I am drinking non-alcoholic because I'm on chemo right now. The drug, it's once on, once off. But it's look how cute. Need coffee too. Okay.
Very nice.
But I'm not really drinking coffee. I'm drinking Diet Snapple. Yummy. 0 points.
Good girl. I'm gonna turn my lower third off for one quick second because I don't think you saw what shirt I was wearing.
Oh, oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, just a little insider. That's what I called him long time ago when he told me, oh, I'm a big girl. And I was like, no, you're not. And actually, yeah, so I had to come up with a really cute, girl, man, friend.
All right, let's get into it, shall we?
Ooh, let's do it.
Time for our scores of the week, where Robin and I will teach you about cool things that we sold, show you what we sold, and usually it's BOLOs, and BOLO stands for be on the lookout. These are the things that you should be buying to flip for good money. Now, I'm going to start out this week, and this one was a little tricky to show you, so you're actually going to get a bonus tip right now. You ready, Robin?
Ooh, yes. I'm always ready for tips.
So this is a CD that was sold at the W Hotels chain. It was called Warmth of Cool Overture, and it's a bunch of DJs and chill artists. This is my sale from Tuesday on Amazon for $39.99. I paid $1 at Savers. And you can't tell it, Robin, but in this picture is an actual picture of the cover. But the cover is just all white with a little W on it. And so I'm like, okay, I need a better picture. And I'd already shipped the CD. So I went to eBay to see if anyone had sold the CD. And guess what, Robin? Someone had just sold this exact same CD that I sold for $40 on Amazon. Here's what they sold it for on eBay. You ready? 99 cents.
Well, come on now. Someone needs to go knock on their door and tell them to get over to the thrifting board.
The bonus tip is, right, David just said I didn't see the picture. Right, it was impossible to see. The bonus tip is different customers pay different amounts of money for the same product on different platforms. So you need to know that when you're
kidding.
selling. Now, not everyone can hop in and sell CDs. Amazon's made it tough, but I did want to show you a CD on Tuesday I sold for $40. Someone sold for 99 cents on eBay. Okay.
That's
So
so crazy.
just keep that in mind. But also, if you can sell on Amazon, I have sold this CD like 2 or 3 times. It's a worthy of $20, $30. So I got 40 this time. It's from the W Hotel. They've put out a lot of CDs, so always keep your eyes peeled. Okay.
Ooh, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
if you watched Sunday's episode of Selling Past Your Expiration Date, being thrifty over 50 with me and my mom, you saw me teach people how to add a video to their listing. This was the item I was adding a video to, and it sold in 24 hours. So there is the listing with the video in it, and I only paid $3 for it, and it sold for almost $31. So it's a good return on $3.
Very cool.
Had this for a while. It took a while to sell, and then obviously it's Christmas time. So this was Eddie the talking bobblehead elf. Eddie the elf. Buddy the elf. Good Lord, I'm like I'm drunk. I've had 2 sips. Buddy the elf from the movie Elf, starring Will Ferrell. This was a talking bobblehead. I picked it up at Savers on Tropicana for $3.99 and sold for $31.
That's awesome.
Now the funny thing was, he talks to you all the time. So one night, my wife was, I think, going back and forth to her bathroom because we have separate bathrooms to get ready for bedtime. And I saw her keep stopping in the hallway. And I finally said, "What the hell are you doing?" She goes, "Who keeps talking? That damn talking bobblehead talked all the time." So we actually had to bury it, so we didn't hear it. Here is the byproduct, the unfortunate thing of losing weight, because these were vintage Hawaiian swim trunks that fit me about 40 pounds ago.
Wow.
Even though they're marked as extra large, they truly were more like a double, maybe triple-ish X, but I lost a whole bunch of weight and they don't fit no more. So I had thrifted these for $4, and they were Surfline and Jams, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So Jams World is one brand, the original Jams, but Surfline is a whole different brand. So I don't know if Surfline made it for Jams or Jams made it for Surfline. I don't know. But what I do know was it was cool, and it sold for $35.
That's cool.
All right, you're up, my dear.
Oh, is it mine? Oh, okay. So this is, I think the title is up a little higher, but I think it's Cougar. I think, is that right, Jay?
Sorry, hang on. There you go. My bad.
Yeah, so it's Cougar. So it's not really the name that sold it. I think what sold it was the style. So it's motorcycle and it's leather. And I think we picked this up, I think at Jim's Honey Hole for, I think it was half off on jackets. So I think he paid like $3 or $5 for it. And I sold it. I took best offer, obviously, for $60, and they paid for shipping. So yeah, so keep a lookout for the style, the motorcycle.
For those who don't know, you always got to make sure you tell people when you start saying names, you got to make sure you tell people who's who. So Jim is your husband.
Oh yes, sorry. I assume everybody knows
there could be a new person tuning in tonight. So
that's true. Oh, okay. So this was an interesting find. So I found this originally on Etsy a long, long time ago when I was first a buyer on Etsy. And it was going to be for my December 19th wedding back in 2006 because I was going to do the whole, anyway, long story short, never used it, and it had been stored. And then I was talking to someone in the thrifting board about how fur has to be stored properly. Otherwise it starts, I don't know if rotting's the right term, but anyway, so I decided, well, I might as well just list it because I'm never going to use it again. So it was a muff, ear muffs, and like a little fob that you can add to either the muff itself. But anyway, so I took best offer on that too, and they paid for shipping, and they loved it. Loved it.
So this is that one, it's very rare for me to say this, but this is that one rare time, Robin, because you're cute and sparkly. Yes. I would have actually had a picture of you with it on, with your hands in the muff.
Oh, see, that would have been a good one.
It's sold, and it looks okay, but it's one of those products where I kind of think it would look better had it been on a person.
Yes. And also, after I showed this to you, I think the first time I listed it, I remember the tip that you gave me then too, which was if I didn't put it on a person, to put it on a dummy's head or a styrofoam or a glass head or something to show the muffs.
Well, you're giving away my tip coming up. Shh.
Oh,
you didn't know that. How funny.
Okay, and this was a really fun one. This was one that Jim had just found, I think it was either Savers or Goodwill, And it was we went by the tag. It was, you know, like, sorry, I'm having kind of a brain freeze. When they do the color tags and it's half off, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like at Savers or Goodwill or whatever.
So this was like, I think originally like 4 something, and then we paid like $2, and we thought, oh, well, maybe we didn't really research it. So we weren't really sure if it was a big deal. It's not a terribly big deal, but because it was still in the box and never opened, it makes a difference to the collectors. The only thing wrong with this box is a little bit of storage wear. So you have to make sure you note all that so that the collector who keeps it in the box knows that too. But again, I took best offer. And that just sold, I think, either today or yesterday. So that was a yay.
Yay.
Okay, so remember, you guys, I love selling jackets. Teresa calls it, you know, coat gold. We finally went through our bins and we listed like crazy, and our jackets are just flying out. So this is literally 2 things here. One is the brand name. 2 is the fact that it's a waterproof snow ski jacket. So it's very important because they have that special lining. It's kind of like a thermal, protects you, doesn't make you sweat, you know, that kind of thing. The only thing is we still got a pretty good price, even though it was missing its attachable hoodie. Someone didn't care. Just a side note, most snowboarders and skiers don't ever wear the hoods. They always wear helmets, so they don't ever wear the hood. So I think the guy probably just thought, nah, who cares? It's black, it's cool, it's Oakley, and
yeah. It's cool. It's cool, man.
And the other thing is sorry, just a little side note. Jason taught his assistant, and so we started using it too in our photos, just so you guys know that when you have those pockets high up, like a pea coat, or in the ski jackets, it's got the pocket in the middle. Jimmy Boy always decides to put the arm in just to show in the photo, hey, look, you have all these different pockets. And that seems to be a big seller for us too. Just a side note.
Cool. All right. You've seen our scores. Now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. And look, I don't care how good you are, how long you've been doing this. No. We all still have duds. And here's one of mine. If you can think back 1.5 years ago when I did a live Thrifty business with Nadine and a live audience at the newest bar in Vegas called Rebar.
Oh, I remember that.
So this was not this summer, but last summer. I bought this sweater that night, and it just sold. And since then, I have gone through 2 Labor Days, a Memorial Day, a July 4th, and I couldn't sell this really nice Stars and Stripes sweater, and someone finally offered me $18 with free shipping, and I'm like, yes! I paid 10, so it lasted way too long, and I lost money, but I was gone. It's gone. Thank you.
Yeah,
and then this, I thought would be better, but the fact that the paints are missing, it was the paint character, what do you call it? Paint the Sesame Street characters, but the paints are missing. I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna have paints, but of course I wasn't thinking about you gotta go get a bunch of paints, and so someone finally offered me $17, and they paid shipping. So
yeah, that's pretty good.
I picked it up for like $8. So again, wasn't worth my time, and I should have thought about it a little bit more in the thrift store, but it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, one more thing out of the.
Get out of here!
Oh Lord. Okay, so you all would think this would be it, right? It's got everything that Jay talks about. The bright colors, it's fun. It's I think I had the size in the listing. I can't remember. I think it was a large. I just thought it was perfect. Well, this thing has been around since I first started listing, because as you can see by my crapola photo, it's on a hanger. So anyway, we took it. As soon as we got the offer, I looked at Jimmy Boy and said, and he's like, sold. So yeah, we got it out of there. So we made like, I think like 10, I mean, I think I paid maybe $3, but still, I mean, I paid for it ×2 because of the the eBay fees. Oh yeah, and this is going to be a dud, I think, 2 times over, because one, not only did I take a really low offer on it and said, okay, fine, is she still hasn't paid yet, so that might just be like a double whammy in the face. I don't know. We thought it would be a good thing because we thought of homeschooling. We had talked to our friend Debbie Weeder, who used to homeschool, so I thought, oh, maybe this will be a good thing, and maybe like teach kids. Yeah. No.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so don't do that.
All right, good to know.
Oh,
You've seen our scores. You've seen our duds. Now it's time for close encounters of the thrifty kind. Would you approach this man if you saw him in the thrift store? Well, let me tell you. I think mine's first. Oh, wait. Is yours first? Yes, mine's first. 3 people, two approached me, and I approached one within a span of 4 minutes today. So I was at Crazy Town. Now, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know Crazy Town is crazy. There's a parking lot poop story that happened at Crazy Town. There's a cross-dressing story. There's a cement in the toilet story. All kinds of crazy stories.
Wow.
So, here, in case you don't know what I really look like, look at this face. Okay? That's what I look like when I thrift. And I have headphones in, and not these. I have red ones, bright red headphones. And when you're bald and wearing headphones, people can see you're wearing headphones. Yeah. There is no mistake. And so this gentleman walked up to me and kind of went like this. And I'm like, so I popped my headphones out because it is Crazy Town, and I was expecting nuttiness. And I didn't. I judged a book by its cover, and he said, "Can you come with me?" And I said, "Yeah." Oh. And Robin right away realized what he was going to ask me. See how not tall he is? He said, "Sir, can you grab me that green glass way on the top shelf, please?" And
you did your good deed today, Jay.
And I was very happy to. And I'll always help people, get off the top shelf. And so I said, sure, no problem. So I go back to my cart, and I turned the corner from where I was, and I felt this on my back. But what about that light, Robin? It was like, and I turn around, and this woman right here goes, and she whispers. Now, we're in a thrifting store, just normal day. And she goes, "Are you the guy from the TV show?"
Oh, yay.
And I'm like, "I am the guy from the TV show. Oh, my God, I loved your show. I just wanted to meet you." And I'm like, "Hi, my name's Jason." And she said, "Hi, Jason." She shook my hand and walked away. She didn't even tell me her name.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
So I took that picture. And as I walked away, I saw something that I wanted to approach. And I said, "Oh, look at that cute boy."
Oh, look at him.
But here's where it turns into Crazy Town. I didn't reach out and touch a dog. I'm a dog owner. I never touch a dog without permission because you don't know.
Right.
But adorable. I said, "Oh, look at that boy." And she went like this and steered away from me. So I had 2 sweet encounters and then a harumph and steer away from me. All within 4 minutes of Crazy Town. So.
No, she's not a dog owner.
No. So that was my Crazy Town today. All right.
Oh, man, you have good ones. Okay, you guys, this one I was with Debbie Weeder because I had to do the assignment. I had to have a close encounter. And I said, okay, Jay, I'm going in. We're going to go in. So Debbie and I went in to Savers in Vacaville. Or no, was it Vacaville, Debbie? I don't know. Put the correct where we were, Debbie, in the chat. Anyway, she had to run out because she was on eBay Radio. And so I was kind of wandering. I turned for a moment and I saw the woman holding what I thought was a toddler. And she was talking very sweetly to it, cooing at it and talking like, "Oh, it's going to be okay. What do you think about this? Do you think we should get this for our Christmas tree?" And so I really, honestly, for a quick glance, peripheral, I thought it was a toddler. And, if you looked at it quickly enough, it's dressed, it's got a little, little hat on it. And it was only till, Jason, she turned the corner and all I see is Frosty the Snowman looking at me over her shoulder, where I literally had to snap the photo and literally go down another aisle because I was losing it. And I didn't want to be rude and disrespectful. So I'm hoping this is something that she purchased and not something that she brought in.
So my real question to you is, are you sure you weren't at Crazy Town?
No, I don't know. I think Debbie and I can attest to.
Pretty much that sounds like what I expect at Crazy Town.
Yeah, I don't know. Vacaville can get kind of crazy.
Oh, yes, yeah. All right, now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me, where Robin and I give you tips and tricks what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping stuff. And I've got a couple packages this week, but I've had no bad shipping experiences, so I've had nothing to share really from the bad side. But the good side, here is a puffy, and it's a bonus bolo, by the way, kids. Here's a puffy old Milwaukee beer vest.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's size large, and being puffy, it's big. But guess what, Robin? It don't weigh nothing. And so you can never judge your item by the size of it.
Right.
You got to judge it by the size it can be and the weight, because this large size man's vest only weighed 13.8 ounces, so it could go first class.
Oh, very clever.
And the other bonus tip here for shipping is make sure you have these giant poly mailers for when you have things like that. You can put them in your big old poly mailers. Woo, big old. Wait,
yeah,
I think
love
the bottom
those.
one's even. I think the bottom one's even bigger. I'm sorry, I didn't have this prepped.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So make sure
shipping
you have
items down.
make sure you have the big ones, because a puffy vest can squish down a little bit too. Plus, it weighed less than a pound. First class, baby.
Oh yeah, and look at that. And I'm actually wearing a puffy vest right now. Look,
I know. It's like we planned it out.
Peeing in here.
Bilda in the chat says puffy vest is trending on Yahoo right now. Damn, I should ask for more money. All right, you're up.
Okay, so we kind of have some odd photos because I was shipping out something today with peanuts and stuff. So a long story short, what this is actually a ceramic. It was like an ornament, but a fairly large one, and so it's ceramic. And so I had to kind of like. What I was trying to show you is how to do the double box method without doing the double box method. So like, but anyway, so I wrapped it originally put it in the box, and then I wrapped the box. And then what happens is I put it into another box with peanuts, because I'm trying to, and I was just trying to show you like, padding, because they don't weigh as much as another box. So I was trying to do like cheaper shipping. So that's my version. Oh, and you can see I have my toilet paper out there too. How lovely.
Robin likes toilet paper.
Yeah, it's a Costco size.
Nice.
But anyway,
double box does come in handy for certain breakable things, because if it breaks at that point, then it was meant to break. And that's one thing I really want to impress on people, because I see it every day in the thrifting board that people think that every customer is out to get them, and that's not true. And I've packed things the exact way, the perfect way to pack it, and it still broke. What that means is the item was maybe broke and you didn't notice it, like a hairline crack or something.
Oh, so that's a very good point.
If you double box properly with peanuts and packing and it still breaks, don't think your customer's an ass trying to pull a fast one. It could be it just broke.
Right. That's a very good point, Jason, because in this particular case, it's a huge ornament. I mean, it's ceramic. Someone obviously made it, but it's true. I can't totally tell if it doesn't have a hairline fracture. So that's a very good point.
All right.
Very good point.
I don't usually swear too much on this show, but I'm going to read Bridget's reply to your picture, and I'll put the picture back up.
Which picture?
Robin thought the segment was "You've got to be shitting me." All right, from that to this. It is our Thrifty Tips of the Week. Things to help you in the thrift store make money or make your life easier.
Oh, yay, this is exciting. Okay, so I have been, obviously I'm a new iPhone person, right? And Jason, to his agony, I've constantly called him like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Okay, well, he showed me how to buy apps on the phone. Okay, so I found one. If you look down in the very lower right corner of your screen, you'll see a little green dot or a green square, and it says Thrifty Pickers. So if you go to the next one, so you download it, it's really cool. You guys are going to love it. If you go to the next one, okay, so what you do, that's my zip code, right? So it literally pops up all these little push pins of all the thrift stores that are in my area. There are some that I didn't even know existed, because somehow when I do Yelp sometimes or Google, I don't get them all. This way, I seem to be getting all of them. So there's that photo. And then did I send another one, or is that the only one? Oh, and then okay, wait, go back, Jay, to the second one really quickly.
Okay, when I close them out, they go bye-bye. So.
Oh, sorry. Oh, never mind.
Hang on, I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back.
Okay, so see in the very lower left of the corner. Oh wait, Joe. Yeah, right here, Jay. Right there. If you hit that, it opens up to the next screen, which then gives you a rundown of literally which in order that they 17. Like your pins. So you can actually get all the information you need. Like if there's a website, a phone number, whatever. I love this. And this is going to go on the Shirt Tales of Jason's tip from a couple shows ago, where if you are on vacation, you have this app and you punch in the zip code of your hotel, bam, you've just got all this stuff. So you have two options. You have Google, you have this, you have lots of options. I really like this one because it's just really simple for me to use. And we all know how Robin works on unicorn time. So just saying.
And I have not seen this app before. I use other things, but I like it. So I'm going to download it. So thanks for giving me a good tip.
Oh, yay.
All right, here's my tip. Now, I've said it before, but since it came to fruition, came to life today, I want to say it again because I haven't said it in a while. Most thrift stores and definitely Savers have what they call the office supply section. Don't forget to look for yourself. Now, this is only a half a bag of peanuts, but it was $1.25 for half a bag of peanuts. So guess who bought a half a bag of peanuts for $1.25? This dude right here.
Nice.
So make sure. Now, there are things to flip in there too, but make sure when you're standing there, even if you just bought peanuts, it's $1.25. So make sure if you see something that you use daily, even if you're fully stocked, it'll more than likely be cheaper at the thrift store. So make sure you're shopping for your office too, besides shopping for things to flip.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now it's time for our eBay tips of the week. Tips and tricks to make your life on eBay better and more productive.
I love this segment. Oh, I'm up. Okay, so I learned something new, you guys. I know I get super excited, but I learned something new at our last meetup this Tuesday, how to do a coupon, like how to do a coupon for your customers. So what I'm showing you right here, again, the Seller Hub, my favorite piece, you go down under marketing and go under promotions. And then when Jay finds then it will pop up this and you go straight over to the right where the drop-off box or drop-down box is. And you go right there where it says codeless. I think that says, codeless coupon. And then it opens up to this screen. Now, it looks very intimidating, but trust me, it's not. You just have to just take a moment, take a breath, and go down here. And what you're going to do, where you like, if you come all the way down where it says where the little green dollar is, go to the right. There's two little areas right there. You can either do a purchase discount, which is like $1 off, $2. But what Griff was teaching us was percentage. So, in this, I was just using this as an example. You select a minimum of what your buyers can purchase. So I put 40 just to show. And then I put percentage, which was 10% off of $40. So we're going to try to encourage our buyers to do multiple purchases. I'm so excited. I'm salivating. I'm drooling. I love this because I was so excited to learn it, you guys. Okay, so then here under part 2, for some of us, there's some, big time sellers in here. And so they have a lot of SKUs or they want inventory rules. I personally did it just by ID, meaning that I was going to select certain categories that I was going to put on sale. So in this particular example, it was going to be coats and jackets. So I just picked that, and you just either enter the IDs if you have them, or you can actually open it up and just hit select individual items. And then I think also on the same thing, if you go down a little bit on 3, you enter a description. So I just put all brands of coats and jackets. That's really more for you. But then you'll see right here, the preview, it'll tell you what your customer is going to see in the highlight. And then down below on number 4 is where you're actually going to launch it. So you put in your little title right here. And so I just put in, Green-Eyed Raven, which is the name of my store, and the holiday coupon. And then I didn't put a start date because I want it to start right now. But you could launch it like 2 days from now if you want. And then I put an end date, which was the 31st of December. And then what happens, which unfortunately I can't show you because I hadn't really launched it yet. I will. But you launch it, and then it gives you 2 different types of code. So one, you can either, you can use it in a message. So for example, if a buyer has a bad experience and you want to say, hey, I'm really sorry, but I really love to have you come back and give me another shot, you could do something like that. So you can actually generate several coupons. And what's really great is no one gets to see them except for you. So you get to do what you want to do with them. It doesn't go like to the header of your store and everybody gets the code. No, it's not like that. It's where if Jason had a bad experience with me, then I could send him the 10% off coupon. Or if I had a buyer who already purchased the jacket and I'm trying to encourage him, then I would send a hey, thank you for purchasing a $100 jacket. I want you to come back. So that was my tip.
So the question in the chat though is this just for store owners or anyone that sells on eBay?
You know, that's a very good question. And you know, I will find the answer for you unless somebody who like Teresa Cox, if she's in the chat, or maybe even Debbie Weeder, because she was at that same meeting that we were. I think it's open to probably just stores, because I can't imagine, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. Let me get the facts, and then I will come back and either post it in the thrifting board as just a little blurb to answer that person's question, or I'll message you directly. So that was a great question.
All right, so here's my little eBay tip. It is about taking pictures, and I like to do a lot of picture ones because I think I do it pretty well.
Yeah, you do.
Here's a Reebok UFC hat that the person just laid flat, and they sold it for $9.99. Here's essentially the same hat that my assistant put on my mannequin head, and it sold for twice as much.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Now, however, I'm going to throw my assistant under the bus. You see that piece of white fuzz under the C?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All my eye can see is that piece of white fuzz. It's driving me insane. But definitely have a mannequin head when you're doing hats. It looks so much better than just laying flat. You can kind of see how it looks, you know, how it's going to look on your head. So we did take one picture looking down inside of it, but the rest of the shots were on the mannequin head.
That's awesome. I'm really going to start doing that with my beanies, because I have a couple beanies, and it's, you know, it's one of those weird things.
All right, for our last segment today, the good, the red, and the ugly. Yes, this was a lamp I saw at Savers in Utah. No, I didn't buy it, but damn, I should have. I don't know why I left it behind, because that is beyond hideous. So we all know that ugly sells, and Rob and I have sold 2 ugly things recently. So here's Robin's sweater.
Can you imagine? Do you see that?
Whoa.
It's bad. It was really bad. I mean, yeah, I don't even know how to do this. Okay, so anyway, again, here you go, guys. It is not the brand name that sold it. I think it was seriously just the design and the fact that maybe it was perhaps made in Italy. I doubt it. I think probably someone was looking at this probably as an ugly sweater and maybe add their own accoutrements to it and make it even uglier. But yeah, so it is, you know, the pictures don't actually really do it justice, because when I was packing this thing up, it was pretty loud.
All right, so I actually had this as one of my scores, and then when Rob and I decided to do this segment today, I'm like, oh, this works so much better in the good, the red.
Oh, good, okay.
At what point was baby poop brown a hot color? Well, these are vintage men's pajamas. Because let me tell you, there ain't nothing good looking about this. But I only paid $2.99. I sold them for $35.
Wow. I guess
Again, let me throw some bonus tips in here. Here's my first shot. I've got
I love it
on a mannequin, and I got the pants hanging behind it. And then I've now thrown the top and the pants on the mannequin, and I've got the closed shot and the open shot for sexy.
Yeah, for sexy.
And then, of course, you know, we have these full shots of it on the bigger mannequin. So, and then I'm guessing we're going to have a picture of the tags. Yep, there they are. But yeah, poop brown is not a sexy color, but hey, man, $35. I will take it.
Yeah,
now, people are saying burnt orange and pumpkin. It was more brownish. Let me tell you, it was more poop brownish.
No, because Bridget would tell you that was not pumpkin.
And that was brown. You guys are definitely seeing I'm watching the feed at the same time you guys are. It definitely looks oranger in the YouTube feed than it actually is. It is poop brown. All right. Before we get our guest in here, our good friend and yours, Debbie Weeder, and I decided we're going to do a thrift haul tomorrow night, because before I went to Crazy Town, I went to Savers on Tropicana. I bought tons of good stuff, and the variety that I bought today was kind of crazy. Like, usually I'll end up with like 100 t-shirts or 100 CDs, but today the variety was just all over the place. So, and I've got some good stuff from when I was in LA 2 weeks ago, hanging out with Kim. So, good haul stuff. And so we're gonna do a late night one tomorrow night, 10 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 p.m. on the West Coast. I have done late night hauls before. We've had good audiences, so I look forward to you all tuning in tomorrow night. So we will teach you about a lot of cool things that we both picked up, and then why you should and what they will sell for.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right, so let me I'm gonna put you up for a second, Robin. As you were coughing, the wrong time to put you on the big screen.
Sorry.
All right, let me switch over to our guest here real quick and get her stuff up. Nope. Burp, burp. All right, so where's my guest stuff here? Talk for a second, Robin, while I figure this out.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was going to say, you kind of motivated Jimmy Boy and I to start looking for a full mannequin, because I really am liking those shots where it's all one, you know, like I have ski suits that are so hard to do with just the body. I mean, it just looks so lifeless, and we're on a lookout. So I don't know about anybody else in the chat. If you don't have it or not, you should start looking for them, because it's really good to have.
All right, cool. Now I'm all ready. Sorry about that.
All right.
Oh, yeah. That quick delay there.
Hey,
it's time for our guest, Patty Coffman. What's happening, Patty? How are you?
I'm good. How are you all?
Oh, we are great. And I got to tell you, I am so excited tonight. Whoops. Sorry about that. Because your story is absolutely amazing, and I want to get right into it. I don't want to
truly.
Yeah, I don't want to even flit around with anything other than your story.
Yeah.
And so I'll jump you off though. So I read your bio, and I know we're going to talk about, but
yeah.
I'm going to back up from that a little bit. So before we get into the meat of it, you were married and you started on eBay. So let's talk about that a little bit first. What got you? Why and what got you started selling on eBay?
Okay, I was married to a man who did not want me to be work outside the home. So even though there were no children at home, he did not want me to have a job outside the home. I spent 4 years playing Facebook games and gaining weight. And
are we talking like Farmville here? What are we talking like?
Yes, right. Farmville. Yeah. To the point that it was so bad I would get up in the middle of the night and harvest crops. So, so I was like, I got to do something with my life. I cannot keep doing this. So I like, how am I going to make some money? I want to work. I can't work. So I need to do something. And a friend of mine in Texas told me 2 years prior to this, you need to start selling on eBay. And I was like, oh, you're crazy. I don't want to do that. I don't know nothing about that. I'm not interested in selling on eBay. You're just nuts. Nobody can make any money doing that. And I dismissed it. And then I got to thinking about it some more, and I decided that, well, maybe I should investigate this some more. So I started looking for information on the computer, and I came across the show that you did, Jason, the Thrift Hunters. Yes.
Oh, Thrift Hunters. Yeah.
Right. But it had already been canceled, and I could not get any of the old shows to come up because we didn't have. Yeah. So I was like, what? How? But somehow along the line of this hunting, I came across Jason's old group when he was with that other guy. And
the other guy.
Yeah, right.
Good job, Patty.
So, and I was very new to this group when the end of the group, the demise. And so it was like one day they were there, and the next day I came to check in, and it was gone. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? I can't find this group, and I need this group. And so somehow I think Jason had put or sent out or did something. I don't know what he did, but anyhow, I found the new group.
Yay.
And I was one of, I think probably, it wasn't under Patty Coffman. I was Patricia Hopkins under my old
Okay.
Facebook identification. And so I came in as Patricia Hopkins, and I uh, joined the group, and I was one of the very first ones to join that new group, the one that
Yay.
we have now. So I just started. I went to the thrift store. I had no clue what I was doing. People said buy mugs. I bought mugs. I, I brought mugs home and I started listing. And actually, my first sale was a truck driver friend who knew what I was doing and bought the mug. He didn't want the
Oh,
mug. He bought the mug, got me going. I guess he figured, this will help her out. So that's how it started. And then I kept following, your group, Jason, and I've learned so much from you,
oh, thank you. I'm
Oh,
glad I could help.
of what to do, what not to do, and some lessons were a little harder learned. I had to learn on my own without, listening, and made the corrections along the way, you know.
good job.
So what I did is I spent my 90 days in eBay jail because I had an eBay account, but it was connected to my husband. I did not want anything connected to him with this business. I wanted my own eBay account. I wanted my own PayPal account. So I started brand new with nothing, no feedback, nothing, and built it up, from a brand new. So my first, I could only sell 20 things. They gave me 20. They gave me 20 listings my first month, and
Okay.
I listed those 20 things, and I waited 30 days. And on the 31st day, I called eBay, and hey, I my 30 days is up. I've had I think it was 4 or 5 sales during that 30 days. I had like 3 good feedback from those few sales, and the guy at eBay said, "Oh, you're doing well. Everything looks good. Um, we're going to give you 100. We'll bump you up to 100 listings." And I thought, "Oh my gosh, I'll never get 100. That's way more than I needed. I was hoping for like 50, you know." And so I quickly got to 100. And by the
Good.
end of the second month, I was calling eBay again. Can you give me more listings? And I had sales and stuff along the way too. And I had graduated out of mugs, no more mugs, and was moving into clothing. And I started because we lived in Oklahoma City at the time, and it took me about 4 months to discover that I lived less than 2 miles from the Goodwill outlet.
Nice. And so
Yeah.
Patty, so ultimately, where did you end up? I mean, like on the first store, where were you? Where did you get to your peak?
Okay, I started that in April. By July, I was out of eBay jail, and by November to the first part of December, I had a little over 900 listings.
Oh,
wow.
nicely
I'm
done.
not at 900 right now. Sheesh.
I know. Why did we
So,
talk about that, Jay?
and I did this by myself, no help.
Good
Um,
job.
because my husband, he was very interested in what I did when it came to, oh, well, I need this. Can you pull some money out of your PayPal or whatever, and help me get this or help me get that. He was very good at spending the money, but he couldn't do anything computerized to help me
Right.
list or take pictures or any of that. I had no help there, zero.
Right.
So
So then where does the story take the awful turn? Like talk
okay,
about
it
that part.
was we got to Christmas. It was in probably that October the October. It was in around October. My uncle called me. Now my uncle, my dad's brother. My dad died when I was 3.5. So Charlie stepped in and brought me through my teenage years that were really bad. I was
Right.
I was bad, really bad.
Oh, I'm sure you have to watch that show where Jason talks about his youth too.
I was about to say I got arrested twice in my teenage years.
Yeah, I did. I didn't do anything like to. I got arrested, but it was for being a habitual runaway.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I wouldn't stay home, and you're supposed to go home, and I didn't do that. So anyhow, so
he was kind of like your second dad then, like, right? I mean,
yeah,
is that what you're trying
very
to?
much.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like a dad to me. He stepped into my dad's shoes and kind of helped to keep me straight. So anyhow, very close through all of my growing up and the rest of my adult years. And he called me and he told me, he said, I have throat cancer. And I said, okay, what are they going to do? And he said, well, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if there's anything they can do. I waited too long. Basically, the tumor had gotten to the point where he couldn't hardly eat before he went to the doctor. And with throat cancer, apparently you can't wait that long.
No.
So I told my husband, I said, I told him about the phone call and that Charlie was sick and that he had cancer and that I knew he was going to die. I knew that he did not have long to live. So I was like, oh, well, okay, well, we'll go see him in the summer. And I told him that I said, I don't have till summer. It's not going to, I don't have till summer. I have to go. And he said, oh, well, I really don't want you to go. What if this happens? What if that happens? And things like that. So I basically decided to, he went to work one morning. I packed my clothes up. I put stuff in my car because at that point I had a car that I had bought with he used his credit. I used my money from eBay as down payment, and I was making the payments from my eBay money. And I got in the car, and with the help of my friend, who we were selling an RV to, which is a whole nother story, I headed for Maryland. And I left probably a half hour after he went to work that morning because I would not have been able to leave had I done it when he was at home.
Sure.
So I took a few things with me, not a whole lot. I took my little dog, I took my clothes, and I thought, well, I don't know how long I'm going to be at Charlie's, so I'll take some of my eBay stuff so that I can thrift there and maybe sell from staying at his house, to at least have a little bit of income coming in. And I took my printer and a few things like that. Well, 3 days went by and I tried to call my husband and I could not. The phone didn't work.
Wow.
He had changed the number or whatever. I don't know. The bank account was, he had went to the bank and put all the money over into his name. And so there was nothing left. I had no access. All I had was my PayPal card, and there was $700 on my PayPal card.
Wow.
That was it. That's all I had, period. At all. So when we were in Oklahoma City, we sold our RV to our neighbor. He was a truck driver. And he was paying for this RV, and I was the one that he was dealing with because Bo didn't particularly like this guy. So I was like, well, you can't make enemies with somebody that's buying your RV. At least, you should at least, get all the money, and then if you don't like them, that's okay. So I dealt with Art through this, you know, he would pay me and then I would call the place and make the payment. Well, the RV was in Bo's name. So within 2 weeks of me being at my uncle's house, we discovered that Art calls me and he says, "Where's my RV?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "I'm not, I'm not home. You know, uh, I'm not in Oklahoma City." He said, "Well, it's gone." And Bo had the company repossess that RV with all of his stuff in it.
Oh.
And this is a truck driver out on the road
Wow.
by himself making a living, and he had lost 2 wives in the last several years, and things that belonged to them were in that RV that he could not replace. Pictures of his stepson from the time he was a baby could not be replaced. His grandmother's Bible was in there.
Wow.
And nothing could be recovered.
Oh, that's just,
so
there's a special place in hell for that man. Just saying.
I know, right?
Well,
So,
okay,
yeah, so
so that happened. Then when I want to get to the really good part, everybody wants to hear the good stuff. So
tell you.
Go. No, I was just gonna say, like, okay, so all of that, which is horrible in itself.
So anyway, I'm in Maryland. My uncle passed away in mid-February. So I get in my car and I start to drive home. And Art and I are talking to each other the whole time.
Okay, so that's his name. That's the guy who bought the RV.
Right.
And the guy who bought the first mug, right?
And no. The guy that bought the first mug was a friend from when my ex-husband and I used to drive for combined transport. So
I gotcha.
Art was the one that was buying the RV, and we were talking on the phone. I had saw him a few times because he would come through and this and that. And I got back to Oklahoma City, and Art was there too. He had, because he drove out of Oklahoma City.
Sure.
So he met me, and we went to the house, and the house was empty.
Oh.
Wow.
There were about, those big lawn and leaf bags?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there were about 25 of them sitting outside. I started tearing them open and found most of my unlisted eBay stuff in those bags that had been rained on, and most of it was wet. It was scattered. Like, I had a Beatles Monopoly game that was the collector edition. I could not find the whole thing. I only found parts of it. It was wet, totally ruined, and it was brand new. This game was brand new. So everything that I had listed, everything that was in those bags was set out for Goodwill or whoever to come and get. I did get a few things out of those bags and put them in the trunk of my car, but for the most part, I maybe got 50 things out of that stuff.
So you got home to Oklahoma, nothing's there, just a few things you put in your trunk. Where do you go at that point?
Okay. Art's a truck driver, so he said, "We'll park your car over at the terminal. We'll fill out the paperwork and you ride on the truck with me."
Wow.
Because I did. I rode on the truck with him for a month. And then I was like, I have to work. I got to do something. I can't just sit here. I have to do, I didn't want another man to take care of me again.
Good girl.
So I said, well, I want to do something. He's like, okay. I called my mom, and my mom says, okay, you can come and stay with me. Come stay with me in Virginia, and you can stay as long as you need to stay and get yourself together. And, so I went back to Oklahoma City, picked up my car, went to Virginia, stayed with my mom. It lasted for 4 months. I'm leaving a lot of parts out here because we could be here all night.
Right.
It did not work out staying with my mom. My
All
mother did
right.
not raise any of her children, but I love my mom. She's my mom,
Sure.
but we're not close. I'll leave it
Gotcha.
at that. And so I worked for Domino's during that time and was still able to keep my car.
Oh,
Art
good.
had made a few payments on my car for me. My mom actually made a couple payments on my car for me during this
Wow.
time.
Okay.
And he had put my car on his insurance so that, it would be insured. And all this time, I have no idea where the ex is. I did not
Right.
know where he went.
Wow.
So I'm sitting at my mom's house. It was that next summer. See, all that my uncle died in February. I was at my mom's for um, probably May, June, and July, and part of August. And then I was working at Domino's, saving up money, and I would, I had fallen in love with Art. We had fallen in love with each other.
Oh,
And
yay! Some good stuff.
so it was like he's out west driving a truck. He hardly ever got back east. We did not get to see each other very much. And I was like, this is killing me.
Aw.
I want to be with you. So he's like, well, you know, I between the two of us, we saved up money, and he's like, okay, just come out to Idaho, ride on the truck with me for another couple months. We'll save some more money, and we'll get a place.
Good job, Art.
So, so he is a Navy veteran, and
Oh.
so he was at one point he was going to buy a house in the
All
Boise
right.
area, and we talked about it, and we thought about it, and we talked about it, and it's like, oh my God, that's we're kind of getting too old for this, and that's a big 30 years. You're not gonna odds of being around another 30 years aren't that great, and it's like he's like, I don't want to pay for this house the rest of my life. So I was like, well, I'm fine with an RV. I just want to get eBay going again. I
Right.
know that I can do this. I know I can do this.
I've got the skills. I just need the
Yeah.
place.
Right.
And he was extremely skeptical. I think he really was like, how in the hell can you make money and survive selling used? I don't get it.
Right.
And it took me a while to. I think he finally, he bought the car for me. So he finally has come around to, she actually does know what she's doing.
Right.
And she
Okay,
can
wait.
make
So
money doing it, so.
let's make sure everybody understands. So you moved from Boise. Now you are where now? You are
Okay, so we left the truck back in July of this year. Okay, July. We bought an RV. He
okay.
bought an
So
RV.
you're in a fifth wheel.
Yes, so we're in a fifth
In
wheel.
Boise. Okay.
No, in Ontario, Oregon.
Oh, on Ontario, Oregon. Okay, got it.
Yeah. When we bought the fifth wheel, it's the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Could not find a place.
So sorry about that.
Oh my God!
Are you shooting by a motorcycle? Because that's the sound effect I just hit by accident. Whoops! Sorry about that.
That's okay. So,
that was awesome.
And I was such an idiot. I was looking around like, where's that coming from? Oh, I hit the sound.
oh my gosh! Jason's got a motorcycle going through his garage there. So anyway, we could not find a place to put this thing. And
okay, so you bought it. Now you're just trying to find a place to park it and kind of live forever.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it took another month on the truck to find a place to put it, and we found a mobile home park here in Ontario that actually will take an RV. So we have a nice big place.
Nice.
It's really nice. It's 55 plus, which works for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not
okay. So now we just got to make sure everybody knows. Now you have a new account with eBay, right? Because you had to shut down the
No,
old one.
no. Wait a minute now.
No.
No, I shut down my store, and all my listings were gone.
Right.
But I kept my account, my
Right.
eBay account. No, when I
Oh, I
started
see.
with
Okay.
Bo, I did everything from scratch.
Gotcha.
But then
Right.
when I started again in July, I had all that, so I did not have to go through eBay jail and all that
Good.
again.
Yay.
I just started listing, and I had listed at my mom's a little bit. I had sold like $1,500 worth of stuff at my mom's.
So I'm going to back up real quick. But before you had to leave to go take care of your uncle, how much were you selling a month, give or take?
That December, I had sold that December almost $4,000.
Nice.
In that month. Of course, it was quarter 4.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing really good, and I was also dabbling in Amazon FBA at that point in time, and I miserably failed at that. So,
all right. So you're doing 4,000. All the shit happened.
yep.
You got the new trailer, and now you're starting back up again, and you fell back into it. And how'd you do out the gate?
Okay, out the gate, it was a little slow to begin with, because it was learning a whole new demographic area. Oklahoma City is absolutely wonderful for thrifting. It's not expensive, and I was close to everything.
Sure.
In Ontario, there are very few thrift stores. So, and Boise, thrift stores can be quite expensive.
Okay.
I had to learn what days to go, and
Sure.
And I'm still learning some of that.
Right.
But also, all I had was Art's pickup truck.
Okay.
It cost me $25 to go to Boise and back.
Oh,
Whenever
gas.
I wanted,
Okay.
yes,
Right. Okay.
in gas to go to Boise.
You had to
and
figure
back.
that into your bottom
Right.
line,
Yeah.
because
Right.
that's expensive.
And not
when
only
you've got
that,
nothing going on yet,
right. And it wasn't my truck, and it has a lot of miles on it, and I did not want to put all that wear and tear on his pickup. That wasn't fair to him. So I tried to keep things close, estate sales and things like that. So I found out what seems to be working in this area, and I found that my and when I was in Oklahoma City, my average sale was $23.
Okay.
Okay, so your ROI was 23. Okay,
Yes.
that's pretty. I mean,
Yeah, so
not
$23, and then when I started up again, I found that it had dropped to 15. And
Okay.
that's not my business model. That's not what I want. I think that it's a waste of time for me to list something that's not going to sell for $10, or for at least $20. I
Good.
don't like selling things for $10 or $15. And I
Sure.
was not finding stuff that I could do that with. So I changed my way of doing things, and I am now doing a lot of jeans and shoes. And my ROI now is up, I do believe, over $20 again.
Nice. Good job.
And so what's the time frame to this day? So from when you got situated in the trailer to now, how many months has it been?
Okay, mid-July.
Okay, so about 6 months.
Yes.
Right.
Months. All right,
And
so where are you at nowadays? How many items in your store, and what are you doing about monthly now?
There are 617 items in my store listed right now, and
Yay.
I did $3,200 last month.
Well done.
Good job, Patty.
And the most important question: how's Art?
Oh, he's fine. I don't know if you saw the pictures that I posted of the fire that he drove through last night.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yes. He woke up last night at about midnight and thought, maybe I should go. And he was over on the 101, and he said, the closer he got to the fire, the more he realized that it was right on both sides of the road. and the firefighters had not shut down the road.
No.
And he got through that, and he said that, you know, he was scared. And
I'm
there's not
sure.
much that scares him out there. But he said that was scary.
Yeah.
He said, I'm glad you weren't with me.
Well, we're glad that he's okay and he's still trucking along.
Yeah, he's
And
fine. He's waiting on
so
my phone call when we're done. He's going to watch the
Yeah.
show with me when he gets home. Yeah.
Oh, yay. So, okay, so let's just recap really quick. So, not only did you have to start over, and now you're at like 600 and what again?
617 listings.
617 listings. You're pulling in about 3,000 a week. Q4
A month.
Oh, sorry, a month. Sorry, a month.
I wish.
Your ROI is at like $20. You now have a car.
Average sale, Robin. You keep using ROI. That's not ROI, and people in the chat are
Sorry.
talking.
I meant. Yeah, they're like,
sale.
get it right, Robin. And then you got a new car.
$20. Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. And
right.
He took me with the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. He said, "Come on, let's go to and we live right behind the Ford place,
right?
Literally right behind." He said, "Let's go see what they have," and we went up and we looked, and this wonderful man used his credit and bought me a car.
Oh, Patty! Oh,
he paid $1,000
You're gonna make me cry, girlie.
And he bought me a car.
Well, Patty, you deserve it. You've come through a lot. He just loves you, honey.
I know. And I love him. I have never in my life felt for anybody like I feel for him.
Oh, well, he's sure going to love this video when he gets to see it.
No kidding. No kidding. So let's finish it up this way, because it's, you know, it's amazing how our lives get us to where we're at. You know, if I don't have my arm almost fall off, basically, I don't end up with a TV show. I don't end up with Robin as my friend. I don't end up doing this show. I don't end up meeting you, Patty. I don't end up helping if my arm doesn't almost kill me. And so it's weird how we end up in the places we are. But what I want to impress upon everybody, and the question we're pretty much going to end on is, what drives you? What kept you going? Because a lot of people could, and without fault really, just said, screw it, and sucked their thumb and curled up in a ball, but you didn't. Not only you're now at a point where you're kind of back to where you were, you're making money, you're in love, you got a place to live, you got a business. What drove you? How'd you do it?
I was not going to let him beat me. I was not going to let him tear me down and have the satisfaction of knowing that he ruined my life, because he didn't.
Good job.
He actually made my life better because he's out of it.
Well, I think you just tapped on a key point right there, right? That it actually motivated you even more. You were just I am not losing to this man. I'm just not. Yeah. And look at you now, Patty. Oh my gosh. Well, I have to tell you, there's somebody very special, Bridget. She has been following your story from the very beginning, and she is a big, huge supporter of you. So I just wanted to make sure I did a shout out for her, because she was very excited about you being a guest on Jay's show.
Hi, Bridget.
And I'm just thrilled you said yes, because I think that is awesome. I hear me every day, and just to keep doing it and keep listing. And as Jason always tells us, keep your eye on the prize. Just keep your eye on the prize.
Exactly. Just don't give up.
Let me ask you this, though, to kind of wrap that up, though. Was there ever a moment where you said, screw it, I'll just die, or I'll just, sit in a corner and suck my thumb?
Not really, because I do not like to work for somebody else. Once I had a taste of eBay and what I could do with it, and I did work for Domino's that 4 months, and I did not like having to report to work at a certain time and being told when I could go home and, that sort of thing. I like the freedom of what I'm doing. I like to make my own hours, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I don't want to list. I hate listing. That's the one thing I hate to do.
But you work for yourself, you're making money, you're in love, and I mean, it almost reads like a book or a movie, because you just wouldn't, it's crazy to think, oh my God, I'm going to go take care of the man who was dying that raised me when my father passed, and I've got this idiot I'm married to, he's like, no, and then he just ruined my life. But you didn't give up, and now you're at a point where, oh man, love is blossoming. You're back in business. Yep. It's such an amazing story, and I just can't thank you enough for sharing, because I know a lot of people wouldn't want to share that kind of thing, because there's points where people are like, yeah, I don't want to talk about the bad things that happened to me, but I've always been one that has, because I'm at a place where I'm at with all my things in my life, good or bad, that I think we lost Patty, unfortunately. Good or bad, but it got us all to this point. It got us to me doing the show, and me being friends with Robin, and Robin hosting me, and Patty telling her story, and all you guys in the chat that are watching us right now, and everyone on the thrifting board in the Secret Beach. So it is awesome, and such a bummer. I think we lost Patty right at the end here, Robin.
Oh, no, really?
I noticed on the feed her picture went to her avatar, and she was frozen. So I don't know if Patty can hear me. If you can, refresh, Patty. If not, I will say what I want to echo what Robin said. Patty kept her eye on the prize, like we all should do. She did not give up. She kept her eye on the prize, and she went for what she needed and wanted. And that is the key to making your life what you want it to be, and what not anyone else wants it to be.
That's beautifully said, Jason.
So I'm so bummed that Patty froze.
I know.
But we're at the end. So that, if it was going to freeze and we were going to lose her, at the end was okay, because we got her story out. And it was absolutely amazing. And I'm going to talk to her later. And if you see Patty around the thrifting board, say hi. If you can help her, if she helped you, say hi. It's an inspirational story that when you're having that bad day, and you feel like the world's against you, remember what Patty went through. That's a rough thing, and like I said, some might not want to say those words out loud, but she wanted to you guys and to the audience, because it is a story of perseverance and just the cojones to get up and do it again.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Jason. And I just think it's just a testimony again to the great thrifting board that you created, and the environment to allow a safe place to come in and start over and share her story. I mean, Bridget was a big part of that when she reached out. She was really a big advocate for Patty. So yeah, you guys rock. You guys rock in the
Art's in the chat. We lost Patty, but Art's in the chat. Art, you're trucking. Please do me a favor. Reach out to me on Facebook when you get through Vegas. If that's ever your route, let me know. Dinner and drinks are on me, brother.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good job, Art.
It's an amazing story. It's an absolute amazing story. So I'm sorry Patty dropped out at the end there. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in live. Do me a favor. Give us a thumbs up. And tonight, you're really giving a thumbs up to Patty. So give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe, because you don't want to miss any fun shows. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. in the East Coast, 7 p.m. in the West Coast. Debbie Weeder and I doing our thrift haul. I got tons of crazy cool shit today I'm going to show you. And my mom just texted me, and she had a great idea for our show this week. So let me read it out loud here. Big Daddy is going to be our guest this week on Selling Past Your Expiration Date, being thrifty over 50. That's my daddy, my mom's husband. And he's going to take shipping questions about FedEx Smart Post and anything else you want to find out about. So we're going to do 6 p.m. on the East Coast, 3 p.m. on the West Coast. So that is Sunday. I see Patty hop back in here, but I don't see her yet. Patty, do you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. We can hear you. Yeah. We cannot see you, but we can hear you. Hi, Patty.
Oh my God. My computer just like shut down completely.
All right. Well, we were just talking about how awesome you were, and I see that the love of your life is in the chat right now.
Oh, he is?
He is. He's talking about how awesome you are. So amazing way to end this show for him to show up. So that is so awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, that is awesome.
So, Patty, thank you very much for sharing your story with us. You're an amazing woman. You're an inspiration to men and women alike. And I want to thank you for coming on, and thank you for being and sticking with me and my groups and my change. And please, if you ever need anything, let me know. And I told Art when he gets to Vegas on his routes, I'm going to buy him dinner and drinks.
Oh, he would just love that.
Oh, there you
are. Hey, did you show my scores and stuff, or did you not do that?
Okay, our show is not over. Real quick, let's do your scores. I totally forgot about we were so involved in your story. I forgot you had some awesome scores. All right, so here you go. Pendleton, button down long sleeve.
Yeah, that was that came from the thrift store across the street from me, and that's what I was telling you, Jason. You make friends with your people who work at the thrift stores. I made friends with the lady that not runs it, but she works in there, and she gives me huge discounts. And nice. I paid $4 for this shirt.
And you
Sweet.
sold it for $73. That is awesome.
Yes.
That is great.
That is awesome. All right, so we're going to go from a button-down shirt to a Dimensions needlepoint stocking kit.
Okay, that was yeah. Leah and I went to a thing on it was like a. Oh my God! Come in. It was like a I'm still doing the show. Hey. It was a senior citizens place, and they.
Oh, okay.
I paid $2.50 for 4 different ones of these. So that. I sold that for $111.99. I paid $2.50 for it.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, we'll stay in the Pendleton family, and here's a jacket you sold too. Woo.
Yeah, that came from that same store across the street. I paid, I think, $7 for that.
Nice.
Wow. $127.49, and look at these bell-bottom disco pants. Get out of here. This is awesome.
And they look orange, but they're actually bright, bright red.
Wow.
And
bell bottoms made in Canada. They're even better bell bottoms.
Yeah, I don't know much about vintage clothing and stuff yet, but I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll just put this price on it and be done with it. I just want to. These were in a storage unit of a bunch of clothes that I got, so I probably paid less than $1 for these.
Oh my gosh, nice.
That is awesome. All right, we're going to end on bell bottoms because I can't think of a better way to end this kick-ass story but on bell bottoms. Hell yeah. All right. So again, Patty, thank you very much. You're an amazing human being. Thank you for sharing your story. It meant a lot. The chat just been so busy with just love and admiration for you. So it's exactly what I thought it would be. It was very, very uplifting and inspirational. So keep on kicking ass, girlfriend.
Oh, I am.
That is
absolutely
amazing. All right, Robin, you want to give a quick little sneak? Don't say exactly, but a little sneak who the guest is next week.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say because I don't want to give anything away. It's just secret, and it's going to be really fun, and it's going to be magical. It's going to be magical.
My little tease earlier was think of a bowl full of jelly. Ho ho ho.
Oh.
All right.
But it's going to be magical.
Yep. So, all right. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. East Coast, me and Debbie, Thrift Hall. Sunday, 6 p.m. East Coast, me and Mom, some past their expiration date. And then next Thursday, right back here with a bowl full of jelly, if you catch my hint. And that's it. We're out of here. Art, you rock. Patty, you rock. Robin, you rock. We're gone. Time for dinner. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.